Hi, it's Jan Beta, and it's yet another video about my desoldering station, which just broke down. So, my ZD-915 that I modded quite extensively broke down. And it's not the mods that broke down, but the pump actually broke down. I might have jinxed it when I said maybe it's going to need some repairs next. I'm not sure. This is what it does currently. The pump itself, the motor is actuated and it's running, but it doesn't do the moo sound. So that means the actual pump part of the pump is no longer activated. There's a bit of mechanical stuff in there that can break, and my hope is that it's just a screw that came loose that connects the motor to the actual mechanics of the pump. We're going to take it apart one more time, even if I said that I wouldn't do that anymore, but we're going to have to take a look. So let's see if I can fix this. Bring back the moo. I really hope this failure was caused by age and not by the mods that I did. If you want to catch up on the mods, I'm going to link the videos about those in the video description. So we're going to open this up one more time and take a look at the pump. I'm just going to have to disconnect the gun part for this for now, so we have better access. And I hope it's not going to be a failure that is caused by the mods, as I said, but I don't think so. I think it's probably just a screw that came loose, but I think it's quite interesting to look at how the pump actually works. So maybe this is going to be an interesting video. Hopefully it's going to be a quick fix. Yeah, I honestly didn't think that I would have to open this up again this soon, but that's how it goes. And it was literally just breaking down during an attempted repair that I did on a trash-picked flat screen monitor that I found on the side of the road. And yeah, it didn't work out. The repair didn't do much, even though I found some bad capacitors in that thing. The monitor still doesn't work. And the failure mode was just, I was literally desoldering capacitors, and then I heard like a clunk inside the station, and the motor was still running, but I didn't get any suction and no moo sound. So this whole assembly here is the pump. This is the motor, and that is just spinning basically when you actuate it. And then there's some mechanics in here that actuate two membranes, like cups, that are responsible for the actual pump motion. And this is screwed in from the bottom here. So we're going to have to loosen these screws, and hopefully we're going to have enough room to open this up without dismantling the whole thing again. Hope to get access to this by just removing these screws from the bottom here, which hold the pump in place. Dispensed on some rubber feet here to not vibrate the whole case. And there we go, that's loose. Yeah, this should actually give us enough room to work on this, I guess. And there's screws on this, 4 screws on the sides here. We should be able to take the whole top part off, I guess. We're going to see. And by the way, shout out to Mr. Humph on Mastodon, who sent me pictures of the inside of this thing. I didn't know how this looked exactly. And Mr. Humph, when I posted about this happening, sent me some pictures of the insides of this, because the same thing that I hope is the fault, which is a screw coming loose, which we're going to see in a second, happened to his ZD-915. So we're going to investigate, and I hope it's just what I suspect it is. Do we get this whole thing out here? Yeah, I think we can remove the whole top part here. Nothing screwed in the bottom, but we kind of have to remove the hoses here, I think. going to mark them before I do that, I think. So this is hose number 1. This is hose number 1. This is hose number 2. And this is hose number 3. These are cable tied on here, which we're just going to replicate. Yeah, there we go. And we are going to have to disconnect one of these ends here, I think, to get it open. There we go. And there's a screw. That's what fell out, indeed. So this is what this looks like from the inside. There's our motor on top here, and that spins, and there's a off-center part on here with a screw hole that this screw connects to that fell out, indeed. And we have this construction here with some nice washers that are in there and some lubricant, and that actually actuates these membranes on the sides here. So this gives me like a locomotive motion here for these membranes, which look intact, thankfully. These are not so easy to replace, and they are connected on mine here. The only thing that disconnected is this screw, which I'm going to clean up and reattach. Should be relatively easy to do, I think. And then there's these 2 washers that I don't know where they go yet, but we're going to put some lubricant on here and some Loctite probably on the screw after cleaning it up. And then we're going to be good, hopefully. So just cleaning my screw here. I'm going to lubricate it with some silicone grease, I think. This is just some black lubricant. I think it probably turned black over the years that I used this. This is now 9 years in operation. The screw looks intact. I think the threads look intact as well. That's good, of course. And this just feeds through here. Yeah, I'm going to figure out where these washers go, because I think these are pretty crucial for the operation. So this goes through here, and this goes over here. Yeah, that fits. And then the other one goes on the end here before it goes into this block, probably. And there's actually, it looks like there are proper ball bearings in here. This just screws in here. That's how it goes. So we have one of these little pipe things between here on the screw and one on this end that goes into this block. And we're going to put some lubricant in there. I think also between these. Some silicone grease I'm just going to use because these are plastic parts. And silicone grease doesn't worry plastic parts too much. So can actually tighten these a bit. They are super tight, okay. So the motor is super tightly attached to this whole housing here. Yeah, just some lubricant on the screw and some Loctite on the end of the screw where it goes into our little block here. Just going to clean that out a bit more. That's a nice easy fix, I guess. So some silicone grease. This is just standard silicone grease. And we're going to put some in here. And on the screw, because this is moving, and then the tip of the screw is going to get some Loctite to prevent this from coming out again. So it was probably not my mods that caused this issue here, which is good. So this goes through here, and this other end here goes to the other end of the screw. And then the end of the screw is going to get some Loctite, which thankfully I bought little bottle of Loctite just before this happened, actually, which is kind of a coincidence. Oh, that was way too much. And in it goes. Then we're going to screw it down. Yeah, and that's the end of the threads. And it should still work quite nicely. And be better attached to this whole construction than ever before because of the Loctite. Yeah, that's nicely in there. Guess we can just clean this up slightly and put it back together. So this goes on here, like so. And we're going to have to put some cable ties back on here. But that's not really a big deal. There we go, there we go, there we go. It's all nicely back together. And I think I'm going to do the soldering when it's back in the housing here. So yeah, the only thing left is reattach it in here and reconnect this. Number 2. Which sits on this end and is fed through there. Yeah. And we have to put these things back. There's little metal inlays for these rubber feet, so the screws don't rip the feet out, which is a nice touch. It's all reasonably well constructed, just from relatively cheap parts. We should put the cable ties on here, I guess, at this point, while we can still reach it. This is, of course, pretty crucial for operation because you want these connections to be absolutely tight. And you don't want to damage those hoses, of course. This can now go back in here. And we're going to try to put the screws back. This is really literally easier said than done. Okay, second one is collaborating. So the front two, these should be the easiest ones actually because I can easily reach them. I hope the pump still works actually. Otherwise we're going to have to do all of this again. Now to solder our wires here back, which I thankfully marked. There's a red mark on here. I suppose that was the positive. I'm just going to cut these off here or something. Because I used the, yeah, we have to cut them. I used the good heat shrink tubing with hot glue in there. That doesn't help at this point. But we're going to be fine. And it actually helps if these are a bit shorter. Just the power for the motor. Yeah, that's a better connection than ever. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see if it still works. I reconnected the gun part and I also connected some power to this. Let's see if it still works. It still beeps loudly. Yeah, and that sounds a lot better than what we had before. I think it sucks as well. Oh look, it's that random Commodore 64 spares board that I can try to desolder stuff from. Yeah, and it sucks again. It does suck as well as it did. And I hope the Loctite is going to prevent the screw from falling out again. Probably should reset the voltage again while I have this thing open and see if that is still set up correctly. So the leads from the multimeter are hooked up to the pump. We're going to see which voltage this provides. Yeah, that's about what I wanted. 12.5 is a bit higher than the 12 volts. That's nominal. Super stable. Yeah, I guess we're back in business here. We got the Moo back. It's a Moo gun again. And it wasn't my mods that did this. It would have come out sooner or later anyway, probably. I'm going to put it back together and continue using it. I have to let it cool off a bit before I do anything around the gun here. And I'm also going to unplug it again. But that's kind of a relief. I'm actually using this thing quite a bit, which you probably noticed if you are following my channel. There's two longer screws that go in the front here because there's actually a nut in here and you have to use the longer screws to reach the nut fully on the two front screws here. The other screws are all the same. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for your time. Special thanks, as always, to everybody who supports me on Patreon or on Ko-fi or on the YouTube channel memberships page. The links to that are in the video description. Hope to see you again on this channel sometime. I'm Jan Beta. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.